2 receptor. They are 5-HT2A, 5-HT2B and 5-HT2C receptors. 5-HT2A receptor is found in the vascular smooth muscle. Vascular smooth muscle means smooth muscle of your blood vessels, and whenever 5-HT2A receptor of the vascular smooth muscle gets activated, obviously it will produce vasoconstriction. Next, 5-HT2A receptor is also present in visceral smooth muscle, just such as your gastrointestinal tract, where it increases the contraction. It is also present in the visceral smooth muscle of your respiratory tract, where it increasing the bronchoconstriction. Even in the urinary system also, this 5-HT2A receptor is present, where it increases the contraction, it increases the activity. Apart from this, 5-HT2A receptor is also present in platelets, which is responsible for aggregation of platelets. Next, it is also present in cerebral neurons, especially prefrontal cortex, and activation of this receptor over here will cause activation of the cerebral neurons. So this is about 5-HT2A receptor. Next, coming to 5-HT2B receptor, not much is known, just we know that it is present in the gastric fundus of rat, where it causes contraction. 5-HT2C receptor, it is also present in the blood vessel, vascular endothelium, and it elicits vasodilation through EDRF release, that is nitric oxide. Endothelium, in the endothelium, this nitric oxide is being released, where it is responsible for vasodilation. So till now we knew that this serotonin causes vasoconstriction, but this is a different thing. 5-HT2C receptor is responsible for vasodilation because of release of EDRF, that is endothelium dependent relaxing factor, which is nothing but nitric oxide, because of which vasodilation can be taking place. So never you make it in your mind that serotonin will cause only vasoconstriction. No, 5-HT2C receptor, when it gets activated, it will lead to vasodilation also. Another thing is about this 5-HT2C receptor is it is also present in the choroid plexus, and where it expresses regulation of CSF formation. Okay, so obviously we know from the choroid plexus only this cerebrospinal fluid is getting synthesized, and we have got a role of 5-HT2C receptor over here. So this is about all the three subtypes of 5-HT2 receptor. Next, 5-HT2A receptor, where you have heard about this receptor. Whenever this 5-HT2A receptor has been blocked, it has got antipsychotic action. So most of the antipsychotics, they mainly act by mechanism of blocking of 5-HT2A receptor. But whenever serotonin binds with this 5-HT2A receptor, it will get activated, and obviously it will produce a different action. So 5-HT2A receptor agonists are used as psychedelics such as LSD. LSD is nothing but lysergic acid diethylamine. It is a kind of hallucinogen. It will produce hallucination. So if we block 5-HT2A receptor, it is used as antipsychotics. But when this receptor gets activated, it will start producing psychosis. The drugs that produces psychosis also known as psychedelics, also known as hallucinogens. Okay, so 5-HT2A receptor activation will produce psychosis kind of condition, and if we block this 5-HT2A receptor, they are used as antipsychotics. Next, 5-HT2A2C receptor antagonists, which are nothing but your antipsychotics, or you can say atypical antipsychotics such as clozapine or olanzapine, so on and so forth. So these drugs have got a side effects of weight gain. Okay, so whenever we are antagonizing 5-HT2A2C receptor, it is ending up in weight gain. So what scientists thought, if we are antagonizing this receptor, there is a weight gain. What will happen if we activate this receptor? So scientists produced a 5-HT2A2C receptor agonist, and they ended up with a result of weight loss. So whenever we are activating 5-HT2A2C receptor, it is producing weight loss. So we have got a drug lorcaserin, which is 5-HT2A2C receptor agonist, and can be used for producing weight loss, means it can be used in the treatment of obesity. So next we'll go to 5